how to use that swatch that you saved in your new swatch library and fill a flat, a swimwear flat with that swatch. So what I want to do is I actually want to locate a flat online, and I'll have flats prepared for you. But let's say you needed to come up with your own swim flat. So I actually did it here. You know where to go in WGSN. You find women. Well, the market that you select would be women, and I know that I want to use a bikini. So I'm going to click on this bikini swatch. What I want to do, since I have Adobe Illustrator already downloaded on my program, all I have to do is click the download button. So where it says download image, you make sure you click that and hit download. The reason you want to download it is because it's going to create paths that you can use to fill. If you save it as a JPEG or an AI or PDF, or I'm sorry, as a PDF, you won't be able to fill the paths. But since we have Adobe Illustrator, you'll be able to fill the paths if you download it as an AI. So I've downloaded it, and now I'm going to open up my AI. So this pop-up box should come up. And once that comes up, I'm going to hit yes. So with that being said, it's opening up in Adobe Illustrator. So now the only thing that I want to use is the front piece. So you'll notice that as I move my mouse around the bikini, all of the different paths shows up, and that's great because that's what we want to do. So the only thing that I want is the front view of the bikini. So I'm just going to click here. Well, actually, you see how this is selected, the direct selection tool? I don't want the direct selection tool. I want the selection tool. So I'm just going to click anywhere in my white space, and I'll click the selection tool because I want to get rid of the back part of my bikini. So I'm just going to click this. Once I click that, I hit delete. I'll click it again and hit delete. I'll click this path to see what I can get rid of. I hit delete, and perfect. The entire bottom is gone. So the only things that I want to work with is the top part of the bikini and the bottom. So what I want to do, since I'm going to fill this bikini in with a pattern, I want to get rid of some of the lines because it's not necessarily, we're not creating a flat. We don't want a detailed sketch of the flat. We really just want this to be placed on a body, but we'll get to that soon. So I want to make sure that I go and I click the direct selection tool, and I want to get rid of some of these seam lines. So I'm going to click here, and once I click that, I'm going to hit the delete button. So I'm deleting these little seam lines because I don't want them. I want to be able to fill up this flat with my swatch pattern that I created earlier. So all I'm doing is clicking these tiny lines, these little paths, and hitting delete. And what you can do, if you can't see them, you can actually zoom in. You know how to zoom in, Command plus to get you closer. Scroll down, click the path, hit delete. Make sure you click that path and delete. You don't want to select anything else. You just want to make sure that path is selected. You hit delete. And then I want this little one here. So I can pretty much keep everything else. And you know what? Let me see if I can delete this path and hit delete. Well, actually, it took out everything else. You can leave it that way. I don't, but let me go back and hit undo clear. Let me try one more time just to delete this path. So I'm going to make sure that my direct selection tool is selected. Let me see if I can just get this path and hit delete. Too much was taken out, so I'll do unclear and undo clear. But that's fine. So I'll leave these pieces. I'll leave these pieces there. So I'm going to go up and I'll do the same thing. I'll try to get rid of some of these stitches that I don't want to see when I get ready to fill my pattern. So the quick selection tool, this tool is still selected. I'm hitting this path and hit delete, delete. This little thread, the stitches, you should be able to see it there. I want to hit this path, delete, 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 delete. I don't want this path, so I'll hit delete, delete. I don't want this path, delete, delete. I'm just getting rid the stitches, because like I said, you're not doing a tech pack or anything where a flat is needed. It's kind of like you're doing an illustration without the details. So this is clean enough for me to work with. I'm just zooming out. My pen tool is selected. It should not be selected, so I want to make sure that I go back to my direct selection tool. So what I want to do, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit, Command plus, and I'm actually getting ready to fill this cup with that swatch that I saved earlier. So I'm going to click on that, but I also want to make sure that my swatches panel is selected. So you'll notice that if you look in this swatch panel, you don't see the library that you saved earlier. So I need to open it up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down to the little books, click this, and then you're going to click to where it says user defined, and you'll notice that my swim 1 library is already open for me. So all I have to do is click on it. So whatever you name your library, it may come up. If not, you just click user defined and find the one that you saved, find the name that you saved. So I'm going to click swim 1, and this pops up. So I want to take the swim 1 swatch and drag it over here. So I'm going to just drag this swatch here. I'm going to add it to this panel. You'll see that it added. I'll click X. So since this cup of the swim top is already selected, I'll go here, click the drop box, and I'll bring it down, and you'll see that my little swatch is here. So I'm going to click on that swatch, and bam, the cup opens up with the fill. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other cup. Click with the direct selection tool. You'll click this cup, go back here, scroll down, click that swatch again, and that should be filled. So if you can click anywhere you want to fill that swatch. I'm going to click inside this band, scroll down, click the swatch, and it fills for you. Click inside here, click the swatch. Now the band is selected. I need to click that. And it fills for you. So you're just using the direct selection tool to click the white area of the bathing suit top, drag this down, click inside that swatch, and it's going to fill up. Every white space is the area in which I want to fill. So I'm just going to do this quickly so you can see how you can fill a path with a pattern. Let me get in there. So there's a path that wasn't, the entire path looks like it wasn't selected. So let me try it again. So this should be filled with this entire print. If it doesn't work out, that's okay. I might be able to drag it out, fill it out. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. But once you click the path, this is what happens when you need to fill a bathing suit. And there you go. So take all mistakes for love.